Good morning. It's Monday, February 19th, about 10:15 in the morning here in Iowa. On this President's Day / Washington's birthday, I have the day off. I hope you're enjoying the day as well. And we have California versus El Nino. Another storm moving in, and things could get a little bit rough for parts of California. So let's get into it. First of all, we'll talk about the hazards, the watches and warnings across other parts of the country. Getting kind of cold there in southern Georgia and northern Florida with a freeze watch in effect. Still going with our flash flood watch for northwestern Mississippi. Hopefully that dam will not break, but everyone's on alert still. We got some river flooding going on in the south as well. A little bit of wind happening in Wyoming. Winter weather advisory around Salt Lake City. Some more wind issues in Nevada and some snow. Winter weather advisories not too far from Vegas. A little bit of fog in the Pacific Northwest. But the action is the Golden State, California, looking at a lot of rain and a lot of snow. We have flood watches. And also, I don't know about flash flood watches, but flood watches, winter storm warnings for the Sierra Nevada and northern California mountains. We also have wind warnings along the coast, and we have flash flood warning. There it is, Point Conception and just north of LA. And those flood watches extend all the way down to the Mexican border. So a lot going on in California, and we will show it to you. Here's what's going on in the surface today. As we see a front approaching California, and with the system that's approaching California, that's where the severe thunderstorms are possible, maybe some tornadoes possible, heavy rain, flash flooding possible. That's why we have those watches up. Also, a mixture of precipitation for much of the west, rain along the coast, and a little bit of snow as you go inland. Pretty quiet east coast. Warm today across a lot of the country. It'll be cooling off in California as the system moves in, but it is warm in southern Arizona up to Vegas, 60s and 70s, a lot of 70s really. For Texas, 60s and 70s, a lot of 70s there. Same for Florida. And you have upper 50s going all the way into Nebraska, all the way into Missouri. So very warm temperatures. You have to get way up into New England to get highs below freezing, or the northern Great Lakes, or the very northern plains, or the higher elevations of the Rockies. Here's your severe threat for California today. So we're talking the inland valleys with a slight chance of severe storms surrounded by a marginal risk, which gets into the San Francisco Bay Area. And yeah, a chance of tornadoes, about a 5% chance in that area in brown and a 2% chance in the green area. So if you are in that area, then of course pay attention to your local broadcasts. You don't want to miss out on any warnings in case there are any. Hopefully there will not be any. Tomorrow it continues as the storm has moved in. Heavy rain continues, flash flooding possible, San Francisco and Northern California, Central California, and also along the coast of the Central California coast, and then getting into the LA basin down into San Diego. So general thunderstorms around that, rain in Vegas, and even in the deserts of Southern California, with a mix of precipitation across much of the west, rain along the coast. And as we get into Wednesday, things progress eastward with thunderstorms. Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, regular rain for the Ohio Valley all the way into Michigan. We're talking the third week of February, and it's rain in Michigan. So it should be snow this time of year most of the time. So temperatures well above average for sure. We do see some snow, though, in the Colorado Rockies, and then a mixture of precipitation across much of the west. And then that is rain from Tijuana all the way up to, I'd say, Vancouver Island along the coast. And snow in the Sierra Nevada, 1 to 2 feet of it. This is the next 24 hours ending in Wednesday. So a lot of snow for the Sierra Nevada, also for Northern California, and then that snow into the higher elevations of Nevada around Salt Lake City and the ski resorts outside of Salt Lake City. Some snow for the west as El Nino continues. So here's what's going on with the GFS model. This is noon o'clock Central Time, so about an hour and a half from now, if this comes exactly true. And we do see the storm moving into California. And we do see some heavy snow in the Northern California mountains and snow starting in the Sierra Nevada. Some pockets of thunderstorms for the central valleys of California, even down north of LA, Santa Barbara area. And then pretty quiet across much of the rest of the country. And then as we move through time today, we see the showers and the storms and the heavy snow in California, even down in LA, a little bit of light rain possible, and that rain up into Oregon as well. Some heavy snow outside of Salt Lake City as well, as we're getting later in the day today, approaching midnight tonight and into early morning tomorrow. We see that heavy snow continuing for California with rain moving in. Rain further south too, getting heavier for San Diego and LA. As we go through the day tomorrow, steady rain in California, but heavy mountain snows here. And then just light activity further off inland in the west. As we get into Wednesday now, you see the snow continuing for the Sierra Nevada. You see the rain continuing. Central California down into Southern California. Starting to move now into Arizona a little bit. And we see the heavy snows coming down for Utah and Colorado. Otherwise, it's quiet across much of the rest of the country. This snow does get heavier, though, as we move into Colorado late in the day on Wednesday. Light rain and snow across the west. A little bit of light rain in Indiana as we now move into Thursday. We do see this storm now getting its act together. We're starting to see showers break out as the moisture is increasing across the Midwest. And we're looking for rain showers and even thunderstorms from Missouri through Paducah, Kentucky, into Indiana, the Ohio Valley, and moving into West Virginia, Virginia, and Pennsylvania, as we see the hint of another storm approaching California. And we see the showers and storms with this system here, a little bit of light snow in Colorado, and another storm approaching the California coast on Thursday. It does not look as strong, but we do see a lot of rain moving into the south even, and of course into the mid-Atlantic. And that is snow. You have to go pretty far north to get into the snow. Northern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine. This is early Friday morning, and then later in the day Friday, and another storm off the California coast. Looks like it's going to stay there for a while. So that's kind of how things are looking. California is going to take the brunt of the activity for the next several days. And again, the biggest threat, again, is the severe threat for portions of California today. This is where you want to be careful for any thunderstorms that may become severe, and even a slight possibility of isolated tornadoes. So do pay attention to that. Meanwhile, as we go further out in the future, very warm temperatures across the country as we end February. So we're talking 70s all the way into Kansas in the next few days. Missouri as well. We have some 80s in New Mexico. It's 82 for Roswell on Thursday, I think it is. So very warm temperatures across the center of the country as we end February. The coolness will be on the West Coast and for the Florida Peninsula, and the rain, West Coast and further inland, even West Coast, above average precipitation is a good possibility, and also for the Ohio Valley and parts of the Midwest with those thunderstorms that are coming later in the week, as we showed you. So that's my report for today. El Nino versus California. California, you're going to make it. Just pay attention today and tomorrow for sure. And we'll keep you posted here as well. Thanks for tuning in to the Weather Mike. Have a great day.